in our wellness segment this morning, Golfer Be Well, I have Heather Wen right here on the show. Heather, welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us today in this flu-infested season. I know you have a lot to tell us about, and this is a great one today about cold and flu.
Good morning, Ray. How are you doing? I'm pleased to be here, and I'm glad you're on the mend.
Well, I am. I'm feeling so much better, and isn't it the wonderful part about how we are fearfully and wonderfully made in that our body does tend to recover? But, you know, I remember speaking to you about this this last week a little bit, and you told me that something that was surprising to me, and I know that you are a former nurse practitioner and you have a very strong medical, technical, traditional medical training. And then, of course, you have alternative medical health and wellness training as well. And so you practice both. You bridge that gap between those two. And it's very important to understand that when you said that sometimes it's good for the body to become sick because it reawakens the immune system and helps it actually react and then even get stronger. Explain that to me.
Oh, absolutely. And so I retired from doing nurse practitioner things, and I only do alternative. But, yeah, I'm seeing so much of the cold and flu stuff in my office. Exactly what you're saying. If we think about children, right, we joke around that children are little germ magnets because they're always getting sick. Well, there's a reason for that. Well, if you think of it in golf terms or in sports terms, can you actually go and, shoot your best game or do what you're doing without any practice? If we think about the immune system needing practice, it needs to be challenged from time to time in order to function properly. And I know we all want to avoid being sick because it puts us out of the things we enjoy doing. But
Sure.
You have to think about it that the immune system has to be challenged from time to time in order to know what it's supposed to be doing.
All right. Now, what do you do, or what is your recommendation when you start feeling those terrible feelings of the cold and flu coming on? I know what a lot of people do. I know what I do, and I hadn't been sick in about 8 or 9 years, really. I had been around people that were sick, and I was able to avoid it. I'm very careful. I even joke with people and tell them it's a federal law. I'm not allowed to get sick with my line of work. And everybody sort of laughs like you did. But the truth of the matter is I was very fortunate for so long. But then, of course, this year I couldn't avoid it. I got it. And so when those feelings start coming on, what do we do?
Well, there are many different ways of getting at something because we want the immune system to function, yes, but we don't want to be out for 3-5 weeks, things like this. No one has time for that. And so there's many different things you can do. I know in my practice I use applied kinesiology or muscle testing, which is a way of sort of using a reflex in the body and some points on the body, some of which are acupuncture points. And I have corrections for colds and flus and viruses, bacteria, sinus corrections, things like that. But also, there's the basics of people say, well, you should stop a fever right away. Well, there's different schools of thought. I come from both sides of the fence. It's all about being able to know where you are. Because some people are saying, oh, there's no way I'd ever do antibiotics. My goodness, there are times and places for antibiotics. We just don't want to overuse them. Some of the things, naturopaths are really good at knowing, different ways of treating it. There's black elderberry syrup, sambucus. There's the traditional ways of Tylenol, colds, and flus. We all need that rest, which most of us don't want to take. But at the same time, there's various different ways, and depending on who you want to see and how you want to treat it and how serious it is, because there are times and places when you're going to need antibiotics, but we don't want to take antibiotics if you just have a virus. Because if it's just
Absolutely.
a virus, and a lot of people, this is why we're in the trouble that we're in with, resistant strains and things like that we have trouble treating in the hospital is because everyone wants to take a pill and make it go away. Problem with that is, yes, there are times and places for that, but you don't want to do that if it's not a bacterial infection.
We still haven't figured it out that you just can't take a pill if you get a flu virus, and it will not do any good for you. All right, so Heather Wen is at Arizona Healing Alternatives. That's arizonahealing.org. Heather, you are right here in the Anthem area, although you take patients from all over the valley. and especially the North Valley area. Tell us where you are, and I know they can go to arizonahealing.org. I know you can give us your phone number and your location, please.
You bet. I'm at 41111 North Daisy Mountain Drive in suite number 105. For anyone who's familiar with Anthem, that's right next to the Barrows Pizza. And my phone number is 623-680-3399, and I always do a free consultation so we can talk, and if it's something that you'd like to try something alternative, I'm here if you need me.
All right, there she is, Heather Wynn. Thank you so very much at Arizona Healing Alternatives, part of our Golfer Be Well segment. Thank you, Heather. Talk to you soon. We always will be checking in with Heather when on our health.